Hey, imagine this. You get an email from a fancy company telling you that you're getting $1 million if you give them your credit card information. Obviously it's a scam. Probably everyone except for the elderly is aware of that. So after reading this email, you close it, as nothing happened. 2 days pass and you get another email. Hey, I know you've seen my email. I truly know it sounds weird, but this isn't a scam, yada yada yada, you get the point. You didn't respond, though someone knew you viewed their email. Today we are going to talk about different methods of how people use emails, or their website, or even a useful feature in your browser to track you, usually without your consent. But before doing so, we need to start from something easier and more direct, so everyone, even coding beginners, understand what I am talking about. The most direct way of tracking your activity is using your IP address. There's a huge chance you've heard this term before, in a bad or a good context. An IP address is like your address on the web. It's like your home address. Your house can be named as a house on a certain street, in a certain city, or in a certain country. The same can be said about your network, which is determined by this chain of numbers that are called Internet Protocol Address, in short, IP address. And by default, IP addresses are not dangerous, they are only used as a way to tell the server who should receive the data. Although not dangerous, there can be evil actors out there. Imagine in real life that there's a postman who's not a good person. Let's call him Joe. No hate from Joe Brothers obviously out there, but someone has to go. Joe delivers mail directly to your house, and he always knows what you order, when you order, and then he's able to track or blackmail you that you order some interesting things. Websites can do the same, although not to that scale. Logging IP addresses and matching them to different activities on their website is not a hard job, and it is the easiest way to track you. This is a quick sample site I made. There are 3 different sites and one under admin site that tracks our doings. As you can see, this site tracks exactly what I did, what I clicked, and which pages I visited. The easiest way to avoid it is probably using a VPN or not visiting the site. That's about it. When we have the basics done, we can talk about some more advanced ways that websites track you, such as the trick mentioned in the intro. If you've ever opened some random mails out there, there's a chance your email told you that this email contains images. Do you want to load them? And at the first glance, you might think that they just truly care about your internet bandwidth and don't want you to load many various images to overwhelm you. And you might be partially right, there's a point in that. However, this message also serves you as a warning against being tracked. Why? Let me explain. I'm gonna go quickly to my example shown before, with tracking someone using their IP addresses. We are not going to talk about IPs, so I'm just gonna quickly get rid of it. But, as you can see, we can easily track different links that are visited. This is not a big problem to you, as there can be a million other people who visit a certain site. But what if that link actually has been made only for you, and only you know about it? Like this. This is a link that has been made using this fancy button I've hidden in there, that generates me that fancy chunk of text. This text is going to show me an image of my YouTube channel, and it is uniquely generated each time I click on this button. If I put this into an email, then on the same page, if someone loads the image, I will see an activity related to that URL, knowing that it has been viewed. But following the same principle, there's also another method to be wary of. This email also contains a big button that tells you to claim the reward, and the link obviously is not a legitimate one. However, if I copy the link, you can see the deal. This link, instead of being something like scam site / free money, there's scam site / a long chunk of different characters that don't make any sense at all. And if someone clicks it, you can see that in a blink of a second you're redirected to the same free money page, but that one fraction of you being on that site, using the same principle mentioned before, allows the bad actors to see you actually took the deal, potentially following with another email telling you to try again. And the obvious question would be, how can I avoid it? There are some possibilities. Some email providers, such as Gmail, save all images in a mail onto their own servers, so nothing is being tracked. But there's a huge chance some providers don't do this, so to be fully secure, you should be aware that if you decide to show images, there might be a risk of you getting tracked. Sadly, there's not an easy way to avoid being spied on by a follow-up link, as often you can't access the link without tracking. You could use a site like shorten.it, which could be useful to be sure which site that weird link points to, although someone will still be aware of you doing that. At the end, let's talk about ETags. There's a really huge chance you've never heard of them before, and I'm not so shocked about it. I only recently found out about them, but that method of tracking is really genius. But before explaining it to you, I need to tell that there are a couple of companies that were sued for using this tracking method without a possibility to opt out or delete the tracking records. However, sadly, hackers or scammers won't comply with ethical rules and laws, so you should know what's the deal and how to possibly avoid it if you're sure that a certain website is using that tactic. So let's get down to the bottom of it. There's a chance you've heard of caching in your browser. You could have stumbled upon cache in apps like Spotify or Discord that cache content. Caching is a mechanism that stores some files of common use to your drive for later use. These files can be as simple as a logo on a YouTube website when you visit their page, or their entire layout. This is all sweet, as it allows your browser to quickly change pages on similar sites, as with the example shown on the screen. When you first load YouTube, it loads way longer than it loads when you change pages. That is the power of caching. However, the server can't be sure if it should waste its bandwidth to send you a file or not. This is when ETags are used. Each version of a file has its own ETag attached to it. In an easy way to explain, your browser in consecutive loads asks the server, "Hi, I have this file, its ETag is this. Is this the correct file?" And if this file is up to date, the server tells you, "Yeah." After which your browser takes the file directly from your drive without wasting more network bandwidth. And after this lengthy explanation, I hope you're not bored, as it's time to get to the real juice. If we add to our code a part that matches a certain ETag from that image to a list of ETags, and if we match it to a certain string such as username on the site, then we can track someone's username on there, even if they reload the page without a really easy possibility to dodge this. Obviously, you can get rid of the cache, open incognito, but in the most cases you won't even be aware that someone is using that method to track your doings. This is a really powerful method. Luckily, sites rarely use that tactic, and that's good. And after that showcase, I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something new. The entire code that I used in this video is in the description below. You can try it out if you want to learn something new. As always, if you want to see more stuff made by me, please subscribe and like, and check my Discord, Twitch, and also Twitter. I mean X. Thanks for watching and see you hopefully next time. See ya!